Hey guys! It's been so long since I've done this, I don't know if I can do it anymore. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing something pretty cool. We are going to, I guess we're not doing it, but somebody else is coming to shock the pond, which like makes the fish float up, and you can like survey what kind of fish you have in your pond and then see like what you need to do to like grow better, bigger fish. Ben's pretty excited. He went a little crazy on the outfit choice for the day.
I don't know if you guys remember, if you watched when we buried that tree in the pond. I talked about if you guys might be interested in doing a little bit of a pond series video, and other than that, I really don't know what everything's gonna happen. Hopefully we can learn something today. A little bit of a fun video. Let's go get some fish. What we're doing today, I think, is technically called electrofishing. With that, have the goal of surveying to see what the health of the fish are, the quality of the fish, the size of the fish, and then kind of formulate a plan at some point of what fish to leave and what fish to remove to reach a goal. Well, Ma, you want to plug
I was going to say, yeah, do you guys want to do a plug?
This is Wes Sleeper with Bjornson Pond Management. I'm Nate Herman with Bjornson Pond Management, and there's our boss man back there. We do all the work. I do all the talking. He does all the work. He comes along for the ride. Kevin Bjornson, introduce yourself, young man.
I'm Kevin.
A lot of people call Kevin Wes's dad, kind of like a Bjornson Pond Management thing, but
We're just here to help people electrofish their ponds and figure out what they want to do, help them with their goals.
Cool. So how long have you guys been doing this?
we've been doing this for about 17, 18 years, so long time.
How many surveys do you do in a year?
We do about 300 of these electrofishing surveys. We call them full lake audits, where we check out everything: the fish population, the water quality, the silt, sediment, the habitat, the vegetation, the dam integrity, and the watershed. We put all that information we gather together so that we've got a baseline of where the pond is right now, and then we just drill the owner of the pond with a bunch of questions to figure out who they are and what they want to do with it. And once we figure out who they are and what they like to do and how they like to do it, we connect it together and create a beautiful plan to really connect, in this case, you guys, to your body of water. Let's see. It's time to go over our safety meeting we do before every one of these surveys, especially with newbies on board. If you touch the water, you will get electrocuted. We can tell that to people, and they still end up touching the water because a big fish will roll up along the side and they'll reach out and grab it, or they'll get a little mud on them and they'll reach in and try to wash it off, and they'll be like, "Don't touch the water," and then they do it. It's actually very entertaining for the rest of us, and nobody has died yet.
Okay.
So there's our safety meeting.
My insurance, life insurance.
I don't think that's active yet, buddy.
Fire up the generator. The generator sends the electricity into this control box. This is the brains of the operation. This sends it through the wires and conduit out to the anodes. The anodes then disperse into the water. Every lake carries electricity different than another. So that's why we'll change our pulse rate, our duty cycle, our amps and our volts, and then our overall power, just to figure out how we can get the fish to come to us as opposed to scatter. Sometimes our electrical field is very large. In other lakes, like strip mine lakes, quarry lakes, our electrical field is very small because it just doesn't travel. I suspect this is going to be just fine. We're going to be rolling fish, and we're going to fill this tank in no time.
So when does Molly touch the water?
Molly touches the water.
Molly throws your
Get a little
hat
mud. Get a little
straight
mud
into
on
the
her
water.
finger. So you're on that tray. That's actually a really good vegetation you've got growing, the American pondweed, and then you got the filamentous algae that's floating on the top. But that American pondweed is actually my favorite. You're not. A mistake people make is they think they're managing a pond based off of a fish. I caught a big fish 4 years ago. Well, I want to know what's here right now, real time, and I want to know what the average person that's fishing actually is catching on their average fishing trip, not what's the biggest fish in the pond or what was here 5 years ago.
I'd say bluegill wise, you catch a lot of that.
Okay, so
And that to me is like,
it's barely eatable. It's eatable, but it's not like gonna pull your drag or anything
No.
like that.
okay, how do you do this?
Hey,
I somehow caught another one when I did that though. But we haven't gotten a single crappie yet.
no, we have
Now, it
not.
might not be crappie at this point. Or would they just be deeper?
They're actually just not reproducing well. They're more cyclical, and we haven't had a good crop in a while. So the ones you do have, if they're in here, are big, not little. So now we've got a pile of fish in here,
Okay.
and as the water temps warm up, they're using up the oxygen in the tank.
Okay.
So I'll take that net right there, and I'll show you a few things about your fish.
Is that good or is that a bad start for what we've done?
Absolutely fantastic. That's
Okay.
a lot of pounds of fish. So if the average pond here in Iowa has around 600 to 800 pounds of fish per acre of water, you're more in that 800 to 900,000 pounds of fish. So you've got a lot of really nice fish. I mean, this is Fish Fry City, okay? But it's just average or above average fish. We got our girl right here, smaller ears, whites and yellows, and our boy is gonna be more brown, blues, oranges with big old ear tabs. Now, to get to your goal of growing more bigger bluegills, you're actually gonna wanna eat all of these, or I should say harvest, remove from the pond, and you're gonna wanna put all of these back in. Because what goes on is the alpha male bluegill effect. So the bluegills, the boys, are gonna grow as big as the alpha males that are currently in the pond. They're gonna then become sexually mature, and they're gonna spend the rest of the summer, which is the growing season, focused on the ladies, and then not focused on eating.
Okay.
And once a male becomes sexually mature, it's pretty much done growing bigger. So if you have big male bluegills in here, the younger ones will actually delay maturity for a couple years. They'll actually grow really big. They'll hit the gym, they'll hit the protein. I mean, they will become alpha. They'll get to that 9, 10, 11 inches, whatever that mark is. Then they'll become mature.
Okay.
Then they'll focus on the ladies, and they're dominant. And then the next generation can get even bigger. Still got some nice bass, you know, like this is a really nice fish. A lot of people call it a 3-pounder. It's really 1 3/4 pounds, almost 2 pounds. So this one, it's no problem to put that one back. Okay. Now it's not, and then this one we'll show you some things on this. This is yellow grub. That's a parasite. So we're gonna want to come up with ways to clean this up. The best thing that we found is to stock red-eared sunfish. So they actually will eat the crustaceans, typically snails, that cause the parasites in these fish. You know, this is getting you know, like real close to that 15-inch mark, and it's 100% relative weight. We're gonna put tag number 638 on this fish. It's 15 inches, and it's probably gonna be like 28 ounces, which would be 1.5 pounds. So it's actually 1.6 instead of 1.5.
That means that they're still growing.
That fish,
the way
that
they
particular fish is still growing.
Okay.
Those are some nice kills. This one is an older fish than this one, and can you tell why?
Not really.
So the ear is a lot bigger and the eye is a lot bigger. So this would be an older one, this would be a younger one. This one has a lot more potential than this one. So I'm just checking out the depth. We're at 12 feet right now, right off the dam. And we want to make sure there's good depth throughout the whole pond and that it's not just silted in, which this one doesn't seem to be. Got a puncture wound. That would be from a blue herring.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Ouch.
So then the depth, if you want to shine it on that thing right there, checking the depth. So we're at 16.6 right now, which is actually great. And then we'll just see how long it carries that all the way up. Carrying our depth really well, and now this is great. Exactly what we wanted to see. Now we can do a sediment sample. So you push it down until it hits the bottom, and then you push it hard from there to see how much silt. And actually that was really good. That was probably only 8 inches of silt. We'll do it again up here until we got back to the hard bottom. So sometimes you can just keep pushing that stick until it never stops. The best way to determine if it's organic or clay-based is actually to lick it. And we usually use Wes to do that. And so he's looking at, so the more black it is, the more organic. The more stinky and black. Which if it's organic, we can actually do something about that, which is good. So moving forward, you've got us at your disposal to ask any of those questions to from here on out as the pond ages and as it changes, or even as your goals or desires change, because life changes. Then we just help keep adjusting that plan so that you're always connected to it to the best of our ability and the best of your ability.
Was that what you thought it would be today?
Oh, it was really cool.
Yeah, I thought it was.
It was really fun.
Yeah, that was. You glad you did that?
Yeah, I'm glad I got on the boat.
So, what'd you learn? What did you?
I don't know. I mean, I've never knew anything about like fish ecosystem or anything like that, or like, I don't know, what do you want to call it, like survival for fish?
Bjornson, they were
very good.
Very good at what they did. I'll leave all their contact information down there. This was not a sponsored video.
So professional, you didn't even know one of them got stung by a wasp.
Yeah,
poor Wes.
Yeah, he didn't want to ruin the video, so he just sat there and got stung by a wasp. It's like
Motor in here.
Yeah, and the motor sucked it all in and tore it all up, and the walleye got away, and I got my shirt.
it sounds like you should have just grabbed it with your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, but definitely learned some cool stuff. I will at some point share with you guys the recommendations for these ponds. The pond recommendations, from what I understand, is different for each pond that you have. So definitely, if it's something that you're interested in, you'll have to just give them a call. Let them know I sent you. Not a sponsored video, just it'd be cool to do a loop back through. We're gonna do our best to manage this pond because we hope to someday build a house up there on the hill. Come down here, have some really good fishing. We got an idea of what we can do. I know this is a farming channel, but I feel like this is also part of farming, is managing your farm ponds, managing the water that comes across your property. We've built the terraces, we do the drainage. We have technically a settling pond to keep everything there. And they complimented on the silt and how this pond is aging very well. So what we're doing is correct. Other than that, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with the cool old hat here. And we'll catch you on the next one.
You